day, food is in my belly. Well, was in my belly. Whatever. Or jump into hyperspace. Pew.
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, things we have to do. I'm trying to remember now. I do need to talk to them. That's gonna need a lot of combat. Take care of the green drops. Just trying to remember specifics. I'm just gonna zip up here and check with this star. There. Oh, we got you. I don't know those. Those don't look familiar. Where are they? Rankin. They were transported. Okay. The Drankin won't attack me on the side. Yeah, I know, I'm in the way. Zeta Tribe. Let's see what we got here. Anything here? Absolutely nothing. I feel like eating. Let's see the objectives. I guess I'll do the scribe. Oh yeah, the beta Loed, whatever, I can't talk. Beta, where are you? Oh, I'm jumping. This star. No, those are those. Oh, yeah, I said that. Made it. Knowing system. Up. Down.
Look here. It's the damnably well-armed new aliens everyone's talking about.
Yeah, we're known for that.
Well then, plenty to salvage.
You really want to do this? Okay. I don't know why I entered that system, but that was just dumb. Why'd I do that? This is a pretty hot neighborhood. There's Earth, dude. Okay. Wait. We also have to look for the left side. Oh, it's a train ship.
Target acquired. We've been hired to destroy you. What you intend doesn't really matter.
Oh. Oh, nice. So, Mercs? They look like a Murmur. Ship from the old game. That was interesting. I know I burned. Wait, that's it. No, that's them. That's the people that attacked me a bunch. I'm out late. I'm gonna head eat base.
Captain, we've just received word that humanity has established its first
Yeah.
extrasolar colony at Absalon Trireme. Did you ever think you'd see the day?
Two things. What the hell are you doing in front of whatever? Who's up to me? I'm going to guess it's this road. Terra Colony. Whoa, that's it. I did sell everything. Rather be crap all the good stuff. Check the quality. Wow, it's you. Aren't super friendly either. Okay, go. Even the flames aren't super. Yeah, we yell. Cool. Wait for fuel just from this area. Go. Jump.
Hello, welcome back.
Do things. Up. Hey, brigade. What's down here? Well, I can hover over. That's pretty cool. There we go. There's no run.
You have returned, husks. Apologies again.
It's okay.
Indeed, I am. There are few free Trandals at all, and we have agreed to route all communications in this system with outsiders through myself. When we left the cruel grasp of Overmind, we did not leave all technology behind. Just the dystopia. that state, husks. Stay. We will improve you into... Sorry. Fare thee well, friends.
Check these planets out. This is where I gas giant. Oh. Working on. Oh, though there's some. I could use the money. Recording. I've been doing most of this off screen. I won't say boring, but it's pretty boring. At least for my entertainment sake. You gotta have busy work. Launch. Check this little guy out. Oh, that's where I was. Oh, my bad. That was on this one. Yep. They're about. Check this planet out, and then I'll check the inner ones. Sharp's mine. Not much there. It's not really worth my time. The gold is worth something. I know. I'm sorry. This inner planet, and there's a couple outer planets. Oops. Honestly, this game is actually hard. The ships in between the combat situation is harder to navigate than a mech and mech-wearer line. Weird, huh? Because up here is where the stats are. Oh, great.
You have returned.
Okay.
Huss, apologies again. Not in that sorry.
I'm gonna keep on talking. It's fine. These are nice. Oh. I need the uranium. Plus, also you need to know your orientation of the ship and where the other ships are, and shoot, and then also calculate, do the calculations in your head of leading the target and all that kind of stuff. I'm not horrible at it. Not awesome either. It's one of the things. And more fancy. There's just the last planet there. Oh no, there's an outer one. It's okay.
You have returned. Apologies again. Not in that sorry. Sorry.
Hearing. Okay, okay. I don't think anything's worth very much here. Common stuff. Just the other planet. That one. Let's go over here. So it's that outer ring. There it is. I don't think I hit up that one, but. Oh, ruins. I think I can handle it. Let's see. Good. Yep. Holy sh! I need to get quicker. Okay, where are they? I know, guys.
Captain, this looks like some sort of ancient antenna. Drawing close to it seemed to do something, but I don't know what. Not much more we can do here. We'll go.
Trying to get off the world. Jeez. I didn't hit up this one. I know you're gonna talk to me. Everybody's talking to me.
You have returned. Apologies again. Sorry.
I know, I'm just giving them.
So
So I can help them. I got none. Nope. No. No. Wait a minute. That's new. Is it? The same criminals I talked to before. No. Wait, maybe. I don't remember. I thought I hit him. Yeah, I hit him that one. That's up. Let's get out of here. Okay, let me think here. Oh. They're friendly. No, they're not. Okay, no check. Okay. Where did I leave them? It was... What ship is that? Is that the free trundle? No, that's... Check it out. It's hard to see. Let's see what we got. Oh, you're new. I'm sure you'll try to kill me. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you are. No. What's up? Yep. Dark World. Signig. Yeah, okay. Guess we'll do the famous.
Hello, welcome back.
Because we need to hypergate back here. I need to top up on the crew. Although I am a lot stronger than I was. Move or lose it, kids.
Welcome back, Captain.
Okay.
Good luck, Captain.
See ya. Used to cost money also in the other games to, well, especially two, to re-up your crew. Wasn't super expensive, but when you're having into combat, you can keep on losing guys.
Hello, welcome back.
Then, as you, if you lost like 1,000 or two. They're like, Captain, you're killing everybody. I'm like, sorry. It's gonna cost more. Okay, now I have to get to their home world. It's right there. Now I have to navigate to the damn home world. Damn it. Maybe we can get around it.
Hello, darling. On behalf of the Order of Famished Lords, I welcome you to these charming stars of ours. What's to say? We're just fellow travelers trying to make our way in this big, mean old galaxy. We have ups and downs, and every time we learn something new, we also learn a little bit about ourselves. It's all simply terrific. We are nice. Thank you.
I know it's
Of course, Rabbit.
oh, cute.
Of course. Before that,
Yep,
though,
yep,
in the
the
interest
whole
of
thing.
furthering
Hell no.
positive relations, who will also be devoured?
Also, no.
Human. You have so many cruel. Surely you're right. The operational security and all. Well, time to teach you.
Okay. I lost 3 guys. I love this thing. You've got a repulsor and this. Shot. Okay, so we need to get to the homeworld, talk to them, try not to die in the process. Thank you. Go, 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 go. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. Damn. Fine. Look at that range. Get across there. Beautiful. Time to catch up. Ouch. Damn it. Okay. Slow down here. Okay, I just need a couple shots of them and then I got up. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Welcome back, darling. What can we do for you? Us? Oh, we're dreadfully boring, Pudding. We're far more interested in what you're like. But, for the sake of conversation, we'll gracefully speak about ourselves for a moment. What would you like to know?
Okay, we need to find about.
Our former masters? A tiresome topic. About 300 years ago, we were just taking our first halting steps into the stars. When suddenly, out of nowhere, a Scribe cruiser appeared in orbit around our home. It told us that we could be vassals of their great empire, or, if we preferred, annihilated. We loathed being annihilated, so chose the path of a vassal. The scribe said many kind things about our artistic flair and eye for design.
Have a.
Our cultural works were quite popular on their homeworld for a time. But scribe civilians are quite fickle. They care little for the stars rotating above their heads, so long as those stars regularly deliver new amusements. They haven't had much use for our art for a few decades now. Also, they took exception to our dining habits, which we had to begin concealing from them. I won't say it didn't happen, Flower. But in all honesty, the Scribe make awful dinner guests. And it's not just the taste. They're incredibly boring. Horribly full of themselves, the Scribe. Not without cause, I suppose. Their art is incredible, their food rich and savory, their style of dress grand. There is much to admire about the Scribe, and no one knows it better than them. Yes, we have finally decided to cast off the yoke of the Empire. It always weighed dreadfully around our necks. And we are not alone. All right-thinking aliens have rebelled against the Scribe. Which, sadly, isn't many of them. But the Pinthi have, I'm told, as have others. Oh, we build ships, so do they. We lose ships, so do they. War, you know.
Never changes.
There is the troubling matter of that darned super weapon they're developing. But I can't tell you much about that at all, Peanut. It's all top secret, of course.
Hush,
The
hush.
toppest there is. If you want to know more, I'm afraid we'd have to eat you.
Sorry, super weapon?
Super weapon, or the source of all their power. It's something, all right. But again, it's a secret. If you want to know more, I'm afraid we'd have to eat you.
Damn it. You'd tell us if you ate us?
Of course. We reveal all sorts of valuable military secrets to the people we're eating. Yes, a very troubling species. A sentient bioweapon. Great heaping masses of sludge filled with viruses. We wouldn't know where to begin with them, meal-wise. You'd do well to stay away from them.
Nope.
They have obliterated entire races more times than they can count. If you need an example, there's a world near here, in the Zeta Shiphios system. Some poor fools there were slain by the Pinthi. Thousands of years ago now, but you can still see some of the staining.
Cool. Check that out. Okay. So we need to get activated.
Certainly, Sweet Loaf. What would you like to know?
I'm gonna get in trouble with this, but we're gonna go with it.
Oh dear, not the talk. You aliens always have such dreadful hang-ups about this. But very well. What do you want to know? Our diet's been a little restricted lately, thanks to this silly dust-up with the scribe, who taste quite bitter, if you're curious. But yes, we've sampled most of the sentient life in this galaxy. Why, just the other month, some Taiwan flew by.
You.
Yes, we've had some of the funny little slugs. They seem
sort of.
quite timid, to be honest. They don't travel in our direction that often. Possibly because no ship they've sent this way has ever returned.
Yeah, well,
Dreadful dining companions, of course. Rubbery texture, awful conversationalists. They do have some potential as a soup base, though.
this way. Okay, so I need to get invited to a
Both, darling. We ate famished for many centuries before reaching the stars. But now, yes, we've expanded
So
our
my
diet
guess is
a
I
bit.
have to
We'd be foolish not
leave
to.
here, go
So
to
many
a ship,
delightful
and then
new
when I-
flavors
when a
out
crew
there.
member, we eat.
There were, for a time, but hunger always finds a way. And we don't eat people that often. Cannibalism has always been reserved for special occasions, celebrations, birthdays, weddings. They often volunteer, Muffin. And why wouldn't they? They're the center of attention.
You.
Also, for the past
the
century or
creepiest
so,
episodes.
our special dinner guests have been dosed with pain relievers and mood stabilizers. Most report the experience to be quite pleasurable. The insight they have to offer is fascinating.
And tastes like, ouch, ouch, stop.
Oh, Pepper. You're a funny one.
My moments. It's
Certainly, Rutabaga. What would you like to know?
it's cold, yeah.
Our history is probably much like yours. Fire, the wheel, antibiotics, all that. We had wars, yes, but also peace. Then spaceships. It's of little interest.
Okay.
What are you doing on the floor, Piglet? Cultural relativism is a funny thing, isn't it? The simple answer is my kind has always lived in elevated places. It shouldn't surprise you to know that we were the apex predators on our world.
Yeah.
Many a summer evening, my kind has sat coiled up in a tree, waiting to descend upon a meal and deliver a pithy remark or bite to the jugular. Even now that we travel the stars, we're still more comfortable clinging gracefully to something rather than wallowing on the floor. Not that I think there's anything wrong with your wallowing, human. You wallow gloriously.
Jeez.
Oh, thank you, precious. This is a typical example of famished mid-century modernism. Well, the middle of our century, Who knows what it was in that disgusting scribe calendar everyone around here seems to use?
Okay, so
Certainly, Rutabaga. What
think
would
I
you
have
like
to
to
go
know?
now.
Is there anything else, kitten?
this is
You have? How divine! So wonderful you humans are finally coming to your senses. What is this delightful creature's name?
chicken tender. Zane Zackadoodle. John Human.
Delightful. Well, ship him over.
Oh, my meat puppet. Nice.
Welcome, Zane Zackdoodle. So nice to have you here.
It's nice to be here. Ouch.
That was just a little injection. Painkillers, mood enhancers, that kind of thing. Helps make this a
My
more
meat puppet actually
pleasurable
is coming in handy.
experience for you. How do you feel?
Talkative.
Fabulous. While we start with one of the legs, tell us about your life, Zane.
Party once when I was a teenager.
How awful. Horrible. Incredible. And all this as a child. Do you have any other stories, Zane Zackdoodle?
Oh, yes. I do.
Please, do go on.
Okay.
We love stories about adolescence. Whatever those are, they sound dreadful. And how did that go? My people tell us similar stories, Zane Zackdoodle. Do you have any more tales to regale us with?
I'll do the last one.
Please, do go on.
Do the last one. And then
Go on.
some terror sees the meaning is dire.
Oh no! What did you do?
I'm machine to take care of them.
You're a fascinating creature, Zane Zackdoodle. Do you have any other stories?
Nope. That's it.
A shame. Incidentally, your upper limbs are incredibly succulent. Well done. But please, do you have any questions for us?
Super weapon. I do, yes. Do you have any incredible military secrets you'd like to share?
Of course! We love our military secrets. What would you like to know? Not as well as we might hope, Zing Zackdoodle. We're in a precarious balance right now. They've shattered a few of our colonies, and we've eaten a few of theirs. Our front lines hold, and our ships are a reasonable match for theirs, but we have little chance of ultimately defeating them. Although lazy, arrogant, and dreadfully boring, there is much strength left in the Scribe Empire, and we haven't even faced the worst they have to offer. The Scribe have been around thousands of years, Dumpling. They have accumulated a wide array of precursor artifacts during that time.
Yep.
Some, surely, must be engines of war. And, of course, there are the bioweapons. The Scribe no longer seem to control the Pinthy, but they would surely have other fiendish tools at their disposal. We've been asked not to, darling. We're not simpletons. We know we cannot fight the Scribe alone. And we have allies, of a sort. We encountered them by chance, just as we were beginning to rattle our sabers. Deep space traders, they say, from the direction of the core. They have their own reasons to dislike the Scribe, but won't share them with us. But they did share their weapons. Our rebellion would have gone nowhere without them. In exchange for this, they asked us not to cooperate with you or the other delicious species in this area. I have no idea why. We almost refused on principle, but then they gave us one more gift. After that, we could hardly refuse them. An incredible delicacy. 3 members of a young species called the Kakandri. They were too primitive to really understand what was happening, only just post-industrial. They told us stories of big ships that came from the sky and swooped them up. An old story. We've heard it from our meals many times before. There was one odd thing, though. We found the Kakandri to be strangely indigestible. When we analyzed them, we found there was something strange about them chemically, atomically even. The atoms which made up the Kakandri's flesh were all a little different than ours. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, yes, but different. Ever so slight differences in the fundamental constants of the matter, the strength of electromagnetic interactions and so forth. Our poor, refined stomach enzymes simply couldn't react with the stuff. It all went a bit over my head, if I'm honest, Pudding. But the nut of it is that it seemed like these Kakandri came from another universe.
Okay.
I like you, Zane Zakdoodle. We were hoping merely to survive. Stopping the Scribe is something else entirely. You sound like our allies. They despise the Scribe more than is really healthy, I think. Their hatred might lead them into doing something desperate. They've already asked us to do something foolish. The Scribe have a facility in Alpha Satori A, a research facility of some kind. They keep it lightly defended so as not to draw attention to it.
We're going there.
But they've long kept a powerful fleet in reserve nearby if it's ever under threat. They have a desperately powerful weapon there, it seems, or an energy source of some kind. The information we've received from our allies isn't clear. But our allies believe that, were we able to make it into the facility, we could disable that weapon by transmitting a simple code. Origin 8249 seal. How exciting is that? It would cripple the Scribe war machine. It could end the war instantly, apparently. What's more, our conflict with the Scribe has depleted their strength in the region. The reserve fleet protecting the facility has been dispersed. Oh, how tempting.
Almost too tempting.
Alas, we can still get nowhere near it. We simply can't leave our own systems undefended.
Yep.
It frustrates our allies, but we have yet to do anything with this curious information.
Okay, anyway, I feel dizzy. Bye, me puppet.
Oh dear. I think our guest is leaving us for the night. Thank you for your company, Zane Zakdoodle. You have been a most delicious dining companion.
Get the frick away from me. I'm out. Damn it! Freaking hell. Oh, killing more of them. That was cool. I never would have thought of use the meat puppet as a kind of a Trojan horse. there. One of their frigates are up next. No. We are never coming here again. What was that? That was the repulsor. Okay. Grab this. Woo! Took a little damage there.
Hello, welcome back.
Thanks. Get me the frick away from here. Bed's near there. Let's head back here. Okay, so 1, 2. Actually, I need to make a break. Yeah, objectives. Let's say points. You need to check that out. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna break the video here. We'll come back. Actually, we'll check out the Alpha Centauri. See you, bye.